Hello and welcome. You're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and this is Sports Bus coming up in the next 30 minutes. Pakistan faces a do-or-die situation in the T20 World Cup, goes up against Canada in a Group A match at New York City's Nassau County Stadium. India announces a 15-member rifle and pistol squad for the Paris Olympics. Manu Bhaker picked for 2 individual events. And India to host the 2025 FIH Hockey Men's Junior World Cup. 24 teams will compete for the honours for the first time ever. And first up, all the cricketing action from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Pakistan will face Canada in its third fixture of Group A on Tuesday. Babar Azam's Pakistan is on the verge of getting knocked out of the tournament after losing back-to-back matches to the US and arch-rival India. Pakistan not only needs to win its next 2 matches but also needs to win them by a big margin. Meanwhile, Canada, which does not even play top-flight international cricket throughout the year, has been able to cause major upsets. It's coming off a win against Ireland by 12 runs. South Africa held its nerve to beat Bangladesh by only 4 runs in another low-scoring thriller on Monday. South Africa's spinner Keshav Maharaj produced a stellar performance, defending 11 runs in the final over. Bangladesh has never beaten South Africa in a T20 international and would not have come closer than this, chasing a modest 114 runs. It was 94 for 4 at the end of 17 overs and needed 20 runs off 18 balls but could not get the death bowling away. India pacer Jasprit Bumrah delivered an exceptional spell, helping the country's national team secure a narrow 6-run win over Pakistan at Nassau County International Cricket Stadium in New York City. He finished with an impressive figure of 3 for 14 in 4 overs that was crucial in restricting Pakistan to 113 for 7 in 20 overs.
In cricket, sometimes the difference between victory and defeat comes down to one player. And on Super Sunday, that player was Jasprit Bumrah. One team had Bumrah, the other didn't. And that was the difference. His legend is already filled with incredible displays. But this performance will feel sweeter, not just because it came in the T20 World Cup match against Pakistan, but because without his intervention, this game would have almost certainly had a different ending. India defended a modest 119. Pakistan were 80 for 3 but lost. Bumrah's discipline, his calmness under pressure and his extraordinary skill delivering the right ball and understanding what the right ball is confounded man and machine alike in New York. Mohammad Rizwan thought he had a full-length ball to play a cross-batted shot. His stumps paid the price and Bumrah, after knocking it back, spread his arms wide and broke us into a smile. That his usual celebration. But he didn't stop there. He rode and over 30,000 people at the ground rode with him. He punched the air, millions joined him. That was the opening India could build on. This was the crack that could cause the collapse. Rizwan, the set batter, fell for 31 of 44 balls. Bumrah, who had already taken out Babar Azam earlier, also dismissed Pakistan's final hope, Iftikhar Ahmed, in the 19th over. Of his 24 balls, 15 were dots. Bumrah's mastery created history. 119 was the lowest total ever defended in men's T20 World Cup. Jasprit Bumrah the difference maker. With camera person S. Jayashankar, this is Tapash Bhattacharya for DD India from New York.
All right, moving on. A 15-member Indian rifle and pistol team was on Tuesday announced by the National Rifle Association of India after a meeting of the Senior Selection Committee that was held virtually. There were no major surprises there. Women's pistol ace and now going to be a two-time Olympian, Manu Bhaker, would be the only athlete who would be participating in more than one individual event. She would compete in the women's 10-meter air pistol and the women's 25-meter pistol. The team has 8 shooters in a rifle discipline and 7 in pistol. All team members, along with the coaches and support staff, are currently in a camp in France, mainly aimed at acclimatization and hard training before they take a 2-week break back home. And joining me is my colleague Narayan Singh. Narayan, India's shooters have earned a record 21 quotas for the Paris Olympics. How does it compare to their participation at the previous Olympics?
Ramesh, if we talk about this Indian shooting squad, 21 quotas have been earned by our shooters for the coveted Paris Olympics. And if you take a look at the last time, there were 15 shooters who booked berths for the Tokyo Olympics. In that sense, the numbers have been increased this time, and it's we can say the record number of shooters, and first time the 21 shooters have earned berths for any Olympic edition. And if you take a look, the numbers, the age, this is a very young shooting squad. The average age of the Indian shooting squad, which will take part in the Paris Olympics, is around 22. So out of the possible 24 quotas, India has earned 21 this time. So this shows that the immense improvement have been seen in the Indian shooting squad. And the Indian shooting arena, we can say that last time there were 15 shooters, but they could not able to translate that thing into the medals at the Tokyo Olympics. But this time around, the shooting National Rifle Association of India SAI, the government of India has addressed all the issues why last time there was a dismal show by our shooters. One of the reasons behind these behind that was the COVID. COVID came, and in the pre-COVID era our shooters were at the peak, and after COVID they were it really impacts the game of shooting, because it's a precision sports. On that day, what kind of mindset our shooters have, it also matters. But this time around, every work has been done and tried to remove all the problems our shooters faced last time. And this time around, we are hoping that our shooters will translate their performance into medal at the Paris Olympics and help India to touch the double-digit medals at the coveted games.
Now, that said, what factors do you think have contributed to this achievement?
Ramesh, if you take a look in the last decade, especially in the last 7-8 years, the kind of performance our shooters have done, it is exceptional. Not only we can say the Commonwealth Games or the Asian Games, but also in the events like World Championship, in the Shooting World Cup, they have done exceptionally well. In some of the events, the sports is especially ruled by the China, but in various events like the World Cup and World Championship, even this surpassed the China's performance also. So all in all, the credit goes to the schemes like TOPS, where the top athletes are given world-class facilities. They have world-class infrastructure, and we can say that it's all about the equipments. They are also getting the world-class equipments too. And in the past, what happened that there were not regular camps for our athletes, not the regular practice sessions for the athletes. Now, in the past, it was sporadic, but now it's a 365-day program for our athletes, our shooters. And because of that, we are witnessing here that 21 shooters are there for the Paris Olympics. And of the shotgun shooters, shooters will be, the team will be announced later on, as the shooting shotgun World Cup is underway in Lantaro.
All right, we leave it at that. Narayan, thank you. Narayan Singh reporting there on the Indian shooting team's prospects at the Paris Olympics. To tennis now, Yannick Sinner created history on Monday as he became the first Italian #1 player in the latest PIF ATP rankings. The 22-year-old was presented with the ATP World #1 trophy by Tour chairperson Andrea Gaudenzi. Novak Djokovic's withdrawal in the French Open quarters because of a knee injury saw the Italian climb to the summit. Meanwhile, French Open champion Carlos Alcaraz rose himself to second in the world, with Djokovic dropping to third. Yannick Sinner began 2024 ranked fourth but grabbed his first major title at the Australian Open along with a Masters 1000 title in Miami. Sinner becomes the 29th player to rise to the #1 spot in the history of the PIF ATP rankings since it first began in the year 1973.
Yeah, for sure, it means a lot to me. Being world #1, it means you had a great year, actually an incredible year with a lot of success, and obviously very happy about this. On the other hand, you always have tournaments, you have to play, the biggest tournaments, so that's a huge privilege to be part of, and I'm just looking forward for the next challenges. As I said, I'm very happy to share this with all my team and the people who are close to me, and but on the other hand, I'm very sure that I can improve still some things, and I'm looking forward to it.
Rohan Bopanna and Sumit Nagal secured the Paris Olympics quotas for India in tennis through their ATP rankings in the doubles and singles categories. World #4 Bopanna, who was been in the top 10 of the doubles rankings since November last year, was expected to obtain the quota for India comfortably. But Nagal made the cut after gaining 18 places in the singles rankings and achieving a career best ranking of world number 77 on Monday. Nagal was 95th in the tennis rankings last week, but his rank moved up after he won an ATP Challenger title in Germany on Sunday. In other news, the International Hockey Federation has awarded the organization of the next Men's Junior World Cup to India. The tournament will be played in December 2025. It will be the first time ever that the tournament will include as many as 24 teams. The last edition of the Men's Junior World Cup took place in 2023 in Malaysia and was won by Germany. Still to come on DD India Sports Bus. Real Madrid and its coach Carlo Ancelotti clarify that the Champions League winner will compete at next year's Club World Cup. And India's national football team to square off against Qatar in Doha on Tuesday.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that serves you right. From politics to glamour, from sports to world affairs, with a fusion of aesthetics and substance. Introducing news in a new avatar. Experience the world through a new lens. Stay tuned to DD India for an exciting journey beyond borders.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Sports Bus. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. And now to all the news from the footballing world. India's national football team will square off against Qatar in its crucial FIFA World Cup 2026 and the AFC Asian Cup 2027 preliminary joint qualification round 2 match in Doha on Tuesday. India is currently second in the standings with a win and 2 draws in its 5 matches and secured 5 points. After being held to a goalless draw by Kuwait at the Salt Lake Stadium in its previous qualifying match on Thursday, India remained in the second spot in Group A standings. India would have its task cut out on Tuesday against world number 34 Qatar, and that too without record goal scorer Sunil Chhetri, who retired from international football last week. The last time these two sides met, Qatar beat India 3-0 in a FIFA World Cup qualifier at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar in November 2023. Euro 2024 kicks off on 14th June with Germany hosting the tournament. Italy is the reigning champion. England aims to secure its first ever European Championship title. Here's a Euro 2024 roundup for you.
Croatia carried on training preparation at their Euro 2024 team base in European. The Croatians, ranked 10th in the world, find themselves in a tough Group B and begin their campaign against Spain in Berlin on Saturday. They then face Albania 4 days later in Hamburg, defending champions Italy in Leipzig on June 24. Spain held a public training session at their Euro 2024 base, Jono Eschen, ahead of the European Championship starting on Friday. Spain play their first match of the tournament on Saturday against Croatia in Berlin. They then face further Group B test against defending champions Italy 5 days later in Gelsenkirchen and Albania in Düsseldorf on June 24. Gareth Southgate and his England squad arrived at their Euro 2024 base 6 days ahead of their first match against Serbia. Southgate's squad will be unsurpassed in terms of quality in Germany. And any scenario other than Harry Kane holding aloft the trophy on July 14 will be regarded by majority of fans as underachievement. The head coach, who took over in 2016 with England, has an inviable cast to choose from, and while there are still legitimate concerns about their defense, England clearly have the firepower to go all the way. Captain Kane will lead from the front after an incredible first season at Bayern Munich, where despite not winning a trophy, he has smashed more scoring records. Portugal continued their Euro 2024 preparations with a training session. Portugal host Ireland in their last match before their European Championship Group F campaign begins against Czech Republic in Leipzig on June 18. They then face Turkey 4 days later in Dortmund and Georgia in Gelsenkirchen on June 26. Sports Desk, DD India.
Meanwhile, Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti denied on Monday that the Champions League winner would refuse to play in next season's expanded Club World Cup, claiming that the comments he made to an Italian newspaper had been misinterpreted. Real Madrid and its coach Carlo Ancelotti clarified that the Champions League winner will compete at next year's Club World Cup. Ancelotti had been quoted in an interview on Monday as saying that FIFA had undervalued the compensation the 15-time Champions League winner should receive in a revamped tournament with 32 teams. But the Italian distanced himself from those comments in a social media post on Monday. Real Madrid said that its participation in the tournament was never in question. Real Madrid said in a statement, and I quote, "Our club will take part as planned in this official competition, which we face with pride and with the utmost enthusiasm to once again make our millions of fans all over the world dream of a new title," unquote. Ancelotti is one of the most successful football managers in Europe and has won the Club World Cup 3 times and the Champions League 5 times. In other news, 3 Valencia football fans were sentenced to 8 months in prison on Monday for a racist slur against Real Madrid player Vinicius Junior. A Brazilian soccer player, Marta, and the president of Brazil's Soccer Federation welcomed the sentence, saying that Brazil itself has a law regarding discrimination and racism. The court announced that the conviction is the first ever for racist insults in a soccer stadium in Spain. The events happened at a Valencia stadium in May last year when racist slurs were hurled at Vinicius Junior during a league match. It led to an outpouring of support for the Brazilian forward and galvanized a series of local and international campaigns, including the creation of a FIFA anti-racism committee made up of players. The Netherlands' delight over an emphatic 4-0 win against Iceland in its last warm-up match on Monday turned into despair when it was announced that playmaker Frankie de Jong would not be going to the tournament in Germany. Ahead of the Euros, de Jong has been battling to be fit in time after suffering several ankle injuries this season playing for Barcelona. He tried training for the first time with his teammates after a week of individual work, but following examinations on Monday, doctors said he would not be ready in time, with the diagnosis made public immediately after the game. The Netherlands will start off its Euro campaign with a match against Poland on the 16th of June. The national teams of Chile and Paraguay trained hard this week ahead of their friendly match in the run-up to Copa America. Ricardo Gareca's Chilean football team will play against Daniel Garnero's Paraguay in its last friendly before heading to the Copa America 2024 in the United States. The match is set to take place on the 11th of June in Santiago. Paraguay will play Colombia on 24th of June in the tournament's Group D, while Chile will face Peru on 21st June in Group A. The tournament, being hosted in the United States, will kick off on the 20th of June. And before we close, sounds of ferocious drumming and cheering crowds filled the air as dragon boats made waves in Hong Kong. The city was celebrating the annual Dragon Boat Festival. Hundreds of paddlers made a splash on the waters of Aberdeen Harbour, where a total of 29 races marking the largest scale event of its kind in the city took place. And that's a wrap on this edition of DD India Sports Bus. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download it. And let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We will be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Sports Bus.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that